Mm-mm. What's good, my travel brethren? I'm gonna let some guys come on up here in the room. Hope all is well in these crazy streets of the world today. Man, we got a pretty good topic today, bro. We this is a little different than what we usually cover. This channel is all about progressive men and solution based. But today we gotta speak on this. We gotta speak on it because we got a lot going on. Well, in America as a whole, but that's always. But I wanted to point out why men should reject marriage in 2020. This is a big topic because I see that these marriages are really hindering men, specifically brothers, from progressing to becoming successful, basically. Let's read some of these comments, man. Yes, me. The whole situation is hilarious off top, man. It's funny, brother, because I'm looking at a lot of the comments on Facebook about this August Alsina interview. And what I'm seeing from a lot of the women is the fact they're upset, not that Jada cheated on Will or had an open relationship. They're upset because August Alsina told the truth in the interview. Because as we know, women are very deceptive and they do not like their business being put out there in the open. Because when women sleep around and have sex, they know that it makes them look a certain way. Regardless, it's going to make them look a certain way. So this is a big discussion right here, fellas. I'm going to be on here for a little minute. We're going to hop into this in a second. I'm just going to let a few more guys hop into the room. Also, man, we did a great interview with Mr. Flip Flop yesterday about the opening of the Dominican Republic. In particular, some new rules in Sosua. So if you guys missed that interview I did yesterday, I got a link in the description. You can check out the link in the description. All the information you need about traveling to the Dominican Republic. That's a great interview. Flip Flop, my bro Greg, gave us all the details straight from the website, from the government. So it's a lot of rumors going around about the opening of the DR. It was one rumor saying that if you fly into Santiago, you're going to be quarantined in Santiago if you don't have a COVID-19 test. He basically debunked that rumor for us. So if you need any information, if you're thinking about traveling to the Dominican Republic soon, fellas, check out that interview. The link is in the description. Now, a lot of you brothers know. Now, let's just keep it real. Jada Pinkett, we all know from her little weird little red table interviews that Jada Pinkett's crazy as cat shit. All right, that's everybody knows that. And there's been a lot of rumors about Will and Jada having an open relationship. I heard them in the industry before because I'm in the film and video industry. I heard those rumors way before they even got out. So this doesn't really come to a big surprise. But what I think throws off a lot of guys is the fact that Jada comes off like this spiritual know-it-all ass female. Typical Western female, basically. Typical feminist, liberal chick. And what I've told brothers for a long time with these Western women, man, is they're consistently poisoning the new stock of women coming into the dating game, basically. A lot of women listen to Jada. And as you can see, Jada's whole life has just been strange for the last 10 to 15 years, really. Her career, she's picked these weird ass roles. She has these weird ass, stupid ass topics on her little show. And as we can see, she's not really a good wife. She said recently that she didn't even really know her husband. How the fuck you don't know your husband you've been married to for 20 some years? And this is what's going to bring us into the topic today. What's up, JoJo TV? Fellas, I'm going to say this. These women in America, these women, these old bitches, have not been cultured to be good wives to you. It does not matter how much money you have, how successful you are, as you can clearly see with Dr. Dre and Will Smith. It's countless other marriages we can tell that we can see from, well, I'm sorry, that we can see examples of marriages not working out. It doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter how big your bank account is. Because of the culture, because of the matriarchy that a lot of these women come up in, eventually the marriage would disband and you will lose it all. Okay, what's happening, brother? Peace. You know, I know a lot of brothers right now that's in quote unquote relationships, even marriages. They are afraid to get a passport. They are afraid to travel. They're afraid to travel without their woman. I have a whole bunch of brothers like that. And this is a big thing right here because I'm like, bro, you are hindering your development as a man by not exploring your options overseas. Because if you can find a good wife, if you can build a legacy, if you can find a woman to be your helpmate, to help you build your legacy up, that's one of the most beautiful things that you will ever experience as a man. Having a woman to be your sidekick. You Batman, she's Robin. You see, brothers, the way it's supposed to work is supposed to be you and your woman pulling against, you know, these tyrannical governments, right? You and your woman with your children behind you, you're in the head, you're at the head, and you're pulling against all the BS that the media broadcasts. You're pulling against all the control that the government tries to have within your society. You're supposed to be the protectors of your children. And from this, you build strong society with cultural laws. But if your woman has been compromised, like a lot of these women have in the States, if your woman's been compromised, it's going to be very difficult to raise your children. I mean, come on, let's be real. Look at Will Smith kids. Come on, fellas. His kids is weird as hell. Not because of Will, because of Jada crazy ass. You're right, to each his own. You know, that's definitely true, brother. That's definitely true. But this could be a big learning lesson, man. This could be a big learning lesson. I mean, we got Dr. Dre, who's about to lose half his fortune. Exactly, LK. He's about to lose a good $400 million. And I think what Will was trying to do, Will was attempting to do what a lot of brothers do, were trying to satisfy his wife to keep the family structure, right? He wanted to, a lot of brothers do this. Your woman ain't slept with you for hell, sometimes even years, months, years. And you're trying to hold it all together so you don't have to go through the divorce. Why? Because you're married to the state. And who benefits the most from a divorce? The state. The lawyers, the system benefits the most. That divorce from Dre legally is probably going to be cost millions of dollars. $1 million going into other people's pockets, all because your wife want to do what she wants to do. My brother LK says Matrix inverse everything. That's why we bounce. You know, LK, I listen to a lot of people on YouTube, brother. A lot of brothers with these channels. And they are so focused on the problem. Right? They love to sit around and complain about, their marriages, their dating, about the sisters. And in this channel, all we saying is, hey man, just explore your options. in order for you to maintain an abundance mindset, you have to travel to other countries. Because in this country, man, it's almost like not all of them think the same way, but it's just they go for like a popular, like a popular view to a certain degree. You know, this whole liberal, feminist, woke, independent, I can do all on my own, don't need no man, don't really respect the man. And women love to date, right? You have to consistently date they look crazy asses. Meanwhile, you got traveling brothers that's all over the world who's not even concerned about what goes on in the dating world of Matrix. Now, it seems to me, I don't know if you brothers saw the interview, it's all over Facebook. I don't know. I mean, August Alsina, his career, I mean, he had a couple of hits. I'm not really sure what happened to the brother. He looked like he went crazy. The brother looking like Carrot Top. And in the interview, he was kind of like all over the place. It's like he wanted to tell the truth. And that's what he did for the most part. He was trying to kind of hold it back. But you know how he's an artist. So it can be difficult for some people who used to expressing themselves to kind of be politically correct. So in the interview, it came out that basically Will Smith, he went to Will Smith, sat down with Will Smith, and Will Smith gave him his blessing on sleeping with his wife. Now, I don't know, Rob Parks Jr., if you want to come on the show, bro, you can come on the show. What's going on with you, brother? I haven't heard from you in a while. Now, some brothers will look at that as, I guess you could say that's simping. I feel he was just trying to preserve his marriage, so he didn't want to go through divorce court. I think it was a business decision that Will was doing that. A lot of men can't handle that. I wouldn't be able to handle no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let no little 20-year-old dude blow my wife back out. And a lot of people were saying that Will was dating a woman, a pretty European model overseas. So I mean, I get it. You know, I get what you're trying to do, man. You're basically trying to keep it all together. Will came from a 2-parent household, right? He came from the background where, you know, people were married for 50, 60 years, all the way to the death, to the death. And I believe Jada came from a single mother household. And that's one of the biggest issues that men face in this country, really all over the world to a certain degree, because the single mother rate is booming all across the world. But brothers, you got to be mindful when a woman doesn't see a marriage growing up, she doesn't see how it really works. That can be a big factor on why her relationship won't work out. Charles Jones, what's going on, brother? My brother says Will Smith gave his blessings because he's probably fucking Margaret Robbie. I don't know who that is, but if it's the girl from that movie he did when he was a con artist, man, she was a pretty ass girl. So I ain't mad at that, brother. Let's check out some of these comments, fellas. Let me see if we can go here. But these marriages in the Matrix, man. Let's see here. Hold on, fellas. In my opinion, brother shouldn't do it. Let me get back to his screen real quick. Yeah, in my opinion, brother can't do it. Okay, it is. Yeah. She was you know what? I kind of could tell they had something else going on, even in the movie. And she's a pretty girl, by the way. She's in Harley Quinn and played Tanya Harding. Oh shit, I forgot all about that bitch, Tanya Harding. My brother MJ Hines 3 says marriage is a no-go. I know a lot of brothers, including myself, because I don't have any children at this point. I know we're looking to build our families. You know, you want to come home to a woman every day. You want consistency. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to keep having to go out there in the dating market. You want that old Leave It to Beaver type of fantasy, right? That's what a lot of brothers want, and I totally understand. That's what a lot of men want. I totally understand that, but we have to understand that that was a long time ago. That was a different time. That was a different type of woman. I think the brother BGF did a video one day about, I think it was the baby boomer generation of women. You know, this is pre-crack epidemic, basically. And those women, they did a study. Those women had sex pretty much with like 3 men their entire lives, bro. They might have lied a little bit, you know, maybe it was 5, but for the most part, a lot of those marriages happened right after high school or during high school. You know, most of those women that got married young, before 25, a lot of those marriages lasted 40, 50, 60 years. Damn, I didn't know that. My brother William Green. Will was fucking Robbie and Charlize Theron. Jada also fucked Mark Anthony. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, it was an open marriage, so you know it is what it is. Let me ask you, brothers, this. For all the brothers that would do an open marriage, press 1 in the chat. For whatever reason, if you could think you can handle an open marriage, press 1 in the chat. Personally, if I'm gonna be married, man, hell to the no. Because it's the thing, man. Like, you have to understand them imprints, man. And when these women open up their bodies to different men, they take on their personalities. My brother said, yo, what's good? Black man travels, the market is working just like we talked about. Oh, yeah, most definitely. Oh, you talking about the stock market? Yeah, most definitely. My brother JoJo TV said, what up? Hell no. Yeah, you're right, bro. No way. No open marriage. Exactly. You know, once you talk about open marriages, the marriage is already a wrap. You know, like I said, maybe they sticking into it for a business decision, which is understandable. I don't know what the prenuptial agreement. I just know when you get married in Cali, man, you get screwed as a man. You know, I know California got some, especially if you've been married for over 10 years. Drake's gonna lose a fortune. I think if Will got divorced, he would lose a lot of money as well. Um, if that prenup isn't tight, even if it is tight, they still gonna try to lean. Most of the time, they're gonna lean towards the woman because they know that woman is gonna spend the majority of that money. It's all about robbing you of generational wealth. You know, they ready the money go back into the economy where her spending till she drop. I think Steve Harvey wife spent like, what was it, like 20 million or some old crazy shit like that of his money. You know, they know that women gonna spend that money. Only ball, my brother William Green says, only balls my wife is going to be juggling is mine. Yeah, bro. I couldn't deal with it. I already take it on the head and just get the divorce, bro. You know, because you don't want people scoring points off you, man, running around talking about they screwing your wife. That's the most embarrassing feeling in the world, bro. Yeah, Dre about to be taken to the cleaners, brother. He gonna get got, most definitely. In California, he was married 24 years, and she's a lawyer. It ain't looking too good for Dre. My brother MJ Hines 3 says the media is showing us every reason not to marry. If funny 0000 says ain't no cause your mind as well be a player that be in a marriage and still do single shit. Right. JoJo TV. Most people that divorce is because of jealousy or cheating. Open marriage just sounds super crazy. I'll be so jealous. I'll probably catch a case. Right. Exactly. It's not even worth for you to even really entertain that shit. Man, your wife, fellas, this is your wife. This ain't a side chick. This ain't a chick you've been dating for just a couple of months, even a couple of years. This is the mother of your children 9 times out of 10. This is your wife. You and your wife supposed to share a sacred bond, especially the woman. When she's married, when you marry her, man, she's being loyal with her body. That's the whole point of you putting that ring on her finger. A wife loyalty is based on what she does with her body. A man's loyalty is based on what he does with his money. All right. I know that's going to be a lot to see, and I understand if you don't understand that part. But for me personally, listen, men gonna do what they do, bro. It's different, right? You got that big ass stick in your pocket in your pants. You walking around, you horny. You just want to get off and just move on. But a woman is a little different. They gotta lay down there. They gotta open themselves up, you know. And a woman is a vessel. So what's ever being inserted inside of her is what's going to ultimately come out of her. Which means if Jada is sleeping around with Mark Anthony, sleeping around with August Alsina, she's gonna be batshit crazy because she got 3-4 different personalities rolling all up inside of her. Yeah, man. So basically, brothers, American marriage in 2020, man, to me, it's a no-go. I wouldn't invest in it. It's a very risky business, in my opinion, no matter how long she stayed with you. They're never satisfied. These men have everything a woman could possibly want. They have the money, they have the status, they have the fame. I mean, the richest man in the world. I think Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world at this point. Even his wife wasn't satisfied. And as long as these dumbass men continue to marry into the state, now it's a way around this. It's a way around this. If a woman's truly in love with you, she truly wants to be with you, you can simply not get a marriage license. You can say, hey, we're married. You know, we can have a ceremony, but we're not going to marry into the state. The consequences, if it doesn't work out, it's not beneficial to me. And if you love me, you will understand that. And if a woman's down with that, she's going to be the one. If a woman's not down with that, she's not the one. Now, you can do the whole prenuptial agreement. I've heard lawyers say that it's a lot of times them prenuptial agreements, they're not concrete as you would think. They're not concrete as you could think. Because if she says that you're the cause of the dissolution of the marriage, say that you got caught cheating or something like that. If it's not, if everything's not just pinpoint on, it's a lot of things that prenup they can get around with. My brother MJ Hines 3 says, yeah, a wife is supposed to be sacred to her husband. You're absolutely right. My brother says, imagine letting the brother smut off your wife, then she comes home and asks why you didn't cut the lawn. Yeah, man. My brother said he's married to the game. I'm married to international travel. Gregory X, what's going on, brother? To be more specific, most divorces initiated by men is due to infidelity, and the majority of divorces initiated by women is poorly financial. So, Gregory X, let me ask you this, brother. You think that Dre's wife is just going for the bread? Let's see here. LK, or retire expat abroad, problem solved. The matrix can't be fixed or compromised with. You got a point, brother LK. You got a point. Big D says, what's up? What's happening with you, Big D? My brother says, MJ Hines says, of course, yes, she wants the bread. And she's going to have a lot of it. All right, fellas. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. You brothers want to come on You can just hit that link. My brother Mufasa Shabazz says anti-marriage is cool unless you want children. And that's the catch. Right there, fellas. That's the catch. Because a lot of us want kids. A lot of us want a legacy. This is very true. That's why the solution, in most cases, not all, but in most cases, is to simply get that passport and to invest in living overseas for long amounts of time. My brother says never marry in the system, though. You're right, Mufasa. And if I just dropped a link, bro, so if you want to come on the show, you're welcome to come on. Some couples just get tired of each other too, so that Dre case might be that. Jojo, I understand that, man. Like I say, I understand that. Damn, that's what. And the flip side of that, man, is why you don't get a marriage license. Why you don't marry into the state? Because let's be honest, if Dre decides to give her like 30, 40 million, that's a good payout. She was a regular bride, JoJo. She was a regular female, dog. All right, she eating ramen noodles. Now Dre was already on. Dre had already had the paper, but he upgraded not only her life but her whole entire family's life, hands down. Now, a realistic, let's just say not realistic, but a good payout or a fair payout would be 20, 30, 40 million some dollars. But we all know she's going to go for the whole gusto. She's going for that $400 million, which is some bullshit. And that's the problem we have with the system. It's not the fact that, sometimes things don't work out. I don't understand how our grandparents' marriages all worked out for so long. That's what throws me off. But, okay, don't work out. Here's a payout. Here's $20, $30 million. Here, go about your business. But with the system, no. She got to get half. She doesn't deserve half. And that's the problem I have. Shane Jr., what's going on? Here we go. Appreciate the super chat. Okay, he says marriage is to build a future with someone. Buy a house, raise kids, grow old together. Getting married because you don't want to be alone when you're old is not good enough reason. Too much risk. That's very true. That's very true. And once again, appreciate the super chat, brother. Jaws 2003. Most of the perks with marriage can be had without getting a marriage license. Personally, I would go abroad. Also, depending on the country, you are fast tracked to citizenship. Exactly. Charles Jones says, nah, she was an attorney. Okay, here we go. My brother Jojo TV. In Dominican Republic, you move your girl to your house and you're basically married. You know what? Taylor May was saying something like that. A lot of Dominicans have been together for decades and never get married. But the laws, Jojo TV, the laws are a little bit different out there, right? Like they can't really take you to the cleaners because I know the child support laws doesn't go based off your income. So it's not as if they, well, you know what? I did hear something about if you let a chick move in with you out there and you're a foreigner, it's very difficult to get them out the house. I did hear that. My brother said she waited until Dre was at the very top of his game and hit him with the okie doke. Hey, you know what? You knew she knew about that deal. I mean, she's clever. Most lawyers are clever. She's clever because she knew about the deal. I think the deal was about 3 years ago. So she was patient. But I knew she knew about that deal, and she wasn't about to get a divorce before he made that deal. That's for sure. Yeah, but you know what, Jojo, he been on top for a while though. He cashed in on Eminem and 50 Cent. Really, that got him over that $100 billion hump. So I think he's been worth about 200-300 million for a long time because M went platinum, and of course 50 went platinum more times than none. More times over. So I think Dre been on for quite some time, man. My brother MJ Hines says, yep. Says, as black folks back then, we all had each other's back then when Jim Crow was rampant. Exactly. Yeah, he was making millions off of beats, man. One of the top producers in the game. My brother William Green. I've been thinking about just setting up with a chick from the DR Columbia getting married in the States is a setup. Yeah, I truly believe that, brother. Marriage rates about to really drop. They've already dropped. It's dismal right now. I think we got like a shit. We got such a high single mother rate. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Like I say, I think Will. I know it was a business move for why he did that. I don't want to. I look up to Will Smith, man. He's a great brother. Definitely a fan of his work. Um, but I'm just not sure about the selection of his wife, Jada. Really didn't see that coming. And sometimes, man, you can have everything on all cylinders, and it's always going to be two things that throw you off the most, man. Besides, your childhood, and it's going to be how you handle your finances and what woman you decide to marry. What woman you decide to ultimately invest in. And I know that Will Smith is knee deep within the marriage. I know he came from a two-parent household, and you really want to. You get comfortable, you get familiar, you're deep in love. Like men, we fall in love deeper as time goes on. With women, it's not necessarily the case, man. Women fall in and out of love, man. That's why that was the whole purpose of the system setting it up the way they set it up. Because I know Dre don't want to get a divorce. That's definitely apparent. I know Dre don't want to get a divorce. Dre probably wants to work it out, but it's too many benefits for her to leave him. You know what I'm saying? It's too many benefits, and I think what Will did was what some men do to say, you know what? It's a business decision. Go off, fuck who you want for a while. We're gonna have an open relationship. I'm gonna fuck who I want, and we're gonna keep everything afloat. So we just won't be giving our money away. Because when you have these high profile divorces, fellas, you're talking about millions of dollars in litigation, millions of dollars in lawyer fees. They're gonna run you to the river. So in his mind, he said, you know what? I'd rather pass that down to my children than go through that. Because if we get divorced, we're going to do the same thing anyway. Let's see what Charles Jones has to say. Brazilian, Argentina. He keeps bringing that Argentina, brother. Colombian, Venezuelan, Italian, Spanish, or Portuguese for me. Hell, even a German or Australian broad. Definitely not a Dominican joint, though. William Green says exactly. Well, I'm sorry. Jaws says, I'm looking at DR and some other countries. I want to build a legacy. And most men want to build a legacy. Man, I be in the Dominican Republic and I be seeing these old guys, right? And it be kids running up to him, man. Your natural assumption is like, okay, that must be his grandkid. But a lot of times, these be their sons, these be their children, and they raise them well. So when you're a man, you want to have kids, of course, in your 30s and 40s, right? But it's never too late to raise a child. All these cats over here I got, family with dudes with 4, 5 baby mamas, and their lives are miserable, man. I mean, you want to protect your legacy because a lot of times, man, these women will damage their children. These single mothers will damage their children, not all intentionally, but the fact that that father is not there in that home or doesn't spend enough time around them to kind of give them a little guidance and lead them away. And sometimes these women be wilding out on their kids. They take their frustrations out on their children, especially their dating frustrations. And you eliminate all that if you're married, you're in a household, whether you got one woman, two women, you're over there in Africa. It's just a better and safer investment if you do decide to marry overseas. Because a lot of times, man, when we're talking about all those countries you mentioned, Brother Charles Jones, most of those countries are patriarchs. They have strong patriarchal culture. So a lot of times those men over there are not going for none of the bullshit. See, in this country, it's all on their side. I don't know at what point. I can't really tell you the history of it, of why it's the way it is. In my opinion, it's to be able to put money back into the economy because women spend money like they drink water, like we drink water basically, and men are a little bit more conservative with their money. So a lot of the economy is fueled by women's spending habits basically. That's why the whole push for women to be in the workforce. So that plays a large role in that. But I still don't understand what type of man would go and change the laws that's going to hurt other men. Like I don't understand that logic. Like if you're a man, why would you make laws that's pretty much anti-family? My brother Charles Jones says agreed, but you can always sort out your finances. Yeah, you can sort out your finances. That is true. Hey, I was speaking about that earlier, Jojo. He said that's probably why Jada and Will's son confused. Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. All them kids is weird as hell. That's why Gabriel Union is fucking up D Wade's son. Like these women, man, when you don't control the show, and we all know, fellas, let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. We all know that most of the men in these marriages don't run a goddamn thing. They're there to pay a light bill. You know, they might get some, brothers might get some maybe once, twice a month if you're lucky. These marriages, man, are just dismal. I had heard so many stories. I got this one guy who wants to travel so bad, but he's been in a relationship for I think a year, just a year. And I'm like, man, I can see if it's been 3 years and y'all got, y'all looking at weddings and plans, but why is it okay for her to travel to different countries, but she don't want you to travel to different countries? What's up with that? She's going to Jamaica, she's going to Nigeria, she's traveling the world. Why can't you travel the world? Yeah, man, you know how girls are, you know how women are, man. They think we're gonna do something. I'm like, yeah, you do realize they be doing something. Nah, it's not like that with her, man. I said, well, okay, so you're forced to trust her, but she doesn't want to trust you. I got my brother Mufaza Shabazz in the building.
What's up, man?
What's going on, my brother? What's
No,
happening
not too
with you?
much. Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm just, building this business, planning my escape, man.
Planning your
That's
escape.
it. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that, man.
Plotting
I hear
up,
that.
plotting on my escape, man.
Man, you and me both, brother. So let me ask you this real quick, man. What do you feel about open marriages?
Open marriages. I don't fully understand the mentality of it. I was thinking about that recently, like with the whole swinger culture and
Hmm.
dudes that like want dudes to have sex with their wife. There's guys that's into that. I thought it was like a
That's
white
weird,
boy thing,
right?
you know?
That's weird as hell.
It's like I just chalk that up to like white boys doing that because I don't know nobody and I don't know no
Shit,
one on
man.
an intimate level where I could really understand what they're doing. You know what
You
I'm
got
saying?
some black swingers out
It's
here
not just
too,
white
man.
dudes.
Oh hell no, man. We got a swingers club in Atlanta, like right, maybe about 10 miles away from me. I haven't been there, but I mean, dudes be letting it go down too, man. These women run the show. So
Well, no, but I feel like the dudes want to do it. Like so you have white boys they'll like pay certain black dudes to fuck their wives. You know what I'm saying? They want to
yeah,
do it. It's not
yeah, I heard
necessarily
that
just the
before.
women.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and even listening to Flip Flop on your channel yesterday, this whole that was a little interesting. That whole thing, it was a little. I don't want to call it weird, but it was just interesting. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, well, I'm fucking this chick, and she's saying she got an appointment to fuck this dude in 10 minutes, and I got there right after. I mean, I ain't trying to shit on him or nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I go to the club and I got another chick, and then I just seen him, right? I see her with his chick, and I ain't tripping, and it's like I'm not trying to act like like we don't all know we share women or whatever the case. He just saying it straight out. But it's
Hmm.
like when you really think about that, what the fuck is the point of all that? You know what I mean? If we want to talk about people in open marriages, we got to address that because we going down here foreign to these places. You know, these chicks ain't just staying there. I mean, some of them might be, depending on how frequently you come in or the type of chick, but they fucking with other dudes too. You in some type of open marriage yourself. You know what I mean?
Yup.
Now, for me, when we talk marriage, when I marry a woman, we have like this collective identity. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to have it open where it's just like, oh yeah, people is fucking Tori's wife or Mufasa. Tori's my real name, but yeah, I don't want to have it where it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand that. I'm not interested in that. But what the first thing that made me think about is what a lot of us is doing now, which is sharing women. So I don't know. But for as far as reputation and shit like that, I don't get it.
Yeah, man. I say a lot. I mean, if you ask to go to your girl's phone, you'll be surprised, bro.
Oh shit! Hey, shout out to Greg Wyatt in the I don't know if that's a super chat. I'm looking here on the thing. Yeah, but we went on Dennis Amir, man. We took his first trip.
Man, how
We
was
took
that,
his
brother?
Oh, it was great, bro. It was
Mm-hmm.
great, and that because the thing was right. So for me, I done traveled a few, many a time, so I don't need a tour to go
Hmm.
somewhere. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I like to be free. I'm pretty sure you can relate. Like when you go somewhere and you go in groups, everybody's got to do this. You end up going, you may be in the place too long. Like I went to Jamaica with friends, and
Hmm.
it's cool for a minute, but then you're in a place too long. You people all in your business, whatever chicks you getting, everybody doing. It's just too much going on. You know what I mean? It's like people is complaining about arguing with each other, who took the taxi on time, and hurry up, bro, we about to be late. I just don't want to deal with all that. You know what I mean? I
Right,
just want
right,
to be
right.
on my own time. We got to do all this, right? So I really would prefer to just be, I just go and do my own thing. But I decided to take this tour because a lot of things had aligned at the same time, and it led to me taking the tour. And I
Mhm.
was really glad I took it. Excuse me. I, I was really glad I took it because what happened was it just ended up doing things that I know I wouldn't have done had I went. Particularly going in front of kings, going to see the Oni of Ife's palace, going
Mhm.
to see and doing the spiritual works. See, these are things. If I would have drew out my own trip, I'd have had a good time, but I wouldn't have done those particular things, the spiritual and cultural experiences.
Mhm.
I might have come across those things in my research and did them, but as far as what I had planned, I wasn't going to do that. I was supposed to go to Rwanda, um, and as far as how I had it planned, that's not what I was going to do. So when I went there, I was glad that I did that because that is the right experience. That's the experience and the things that I wanted to do. Now, I don't know if I'll do any more tours.
Mhm.
If I do, it'd probably be something like educational. But like I said, I definitely did think Dinah's tour was a good tour for me. It was
So,
money well spent.
this is it's more about learning about the culture when you're over there in Nigeria.
Oh, on his tour?
Yeah, on his
No,
tour.
no, no, no. Yeah, that's just a part of it. So you go in front of kings, they give you blessings. We
Mhm.
went to the palace. You just kind of see a lot of the spiritual things and stuff like that. It's not all about that, but
Mhm.
that was just a big part of it. We went to museums. I mean, let me see if I can remember. First day we got there, we landed in Lagos.
Mhm.
Um, We landed in Lagos. Then we pretty much all met up at the hotel. We spoke, we talked. Then the next day we headed out for Osun, or Nigeria,
Mhm.
which is like inland spot
Mhm.
right there in what you call Yoruba land.
Mhm.
There's three main ethnic groups in Nigeria: the Yoruba people, the Igbo people, and then you have the House of Fulani up in the north. And the middle area from Lagos in the middle of Nigeria is what you call Yoruba land, and that's where it's mostly Yoruba people. And he took us to the central area called of Osun State, where we went to the capital city, which is Oshogbo.
Mhm.
And we set up in a hotel there. Um, man, I can't remember. Like, I'm trying to give you guys like the chronology of where we went,
Hmm.
but pretty much what we were doing, we were visiting Kings. We went to markets to buy things. We got some clothes, and the main thing we did there was we went to the Oshun Festival.
Okay.
And Oshun is one of the Orisha, basically like one of the gods, the way it's set up in African spirituality. And she's by the water. And what people do is there's a festival in her name, and the name of the state is named after her too.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, we ended up going to that festival. It's just a really big festival. You see people going around, um, dancing, the drums, just everything. That was one of the biggest things. The main reason I really like Nigeria. You can go to a lot of places. Like I went to Ghana. You see
Hmm.
people going around. It's very westernized as far as like the dress,
Hmm. Hmm.
clothes, and the suits. And you go to Nigeria, you see people, especially in Yoruba land. You see everybody. First of all, everybody is clean, bro. Like when you could go through the Caribbeans or go through America, you'll see a lot of people. They may be dressed down. You may
Hmm.
see a lot of bums that just look dirty.
Hmm.
It was a point, and Greg could back me up on this. It was a point where I was like, bro, everybody is dressed up like they about to go somewhere.
Hmm.
All in Ocean State, pretty
Hmm.
much 90% of the people wear traditional clothing. They're not wearing suits. They're not wearing t-shirts and collared polos and shit. They're
Hmm.
wearing traditional. They're dressed traditional. And I was like, yo, I like put a little challenge out where we was rolling. I'm like, bro, can y'all find anybody that's not like dressed up nice, bro? That's like not clean, from the kids to everybody to the poor and everybody. I'm like, can y'all find somebody? We was rolling around for a minute with it on our minds and we couldn't find nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's just a thing with the Yoruba people specifically, but I just wasn't really seeing that in Nigeria. Now,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, that's one of, like I was saying, that was one of the main things. I just like how they do their own thing. Like I can't stand seeing us in suits and all that stuff. It's like we don't have our own traditions and we don't have our own
Right.
clothes. We don't have our own
Right.
dress.
Exactly.
To me, yeah, like I was there. I bought a bunch of fabrics. So basically, the way it is, if you want to dress,
Hmm.
I bought. I don't know how to explain it to y'all. I could put some pictures up. I have to transfer to my computer where you can wear basically just the shirts and things. What you do is you buy fabric and then they tailor make everything for you. You know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying? Yeah, that's how pretty much all the traditional clothes are all tailor made. And I got like 9 different things, and then as a part of the tour, they gave us one too, as well as like a little traditional hat. I
Okay.
could get
Okay.
on there and kind of show y'all some of the stuff.
Now, with the tour, does the tour cover like how does it set up? Does it cover the hotel and the plane ticket as well, or it's just like you do your own thing with that?
No, you bought your own ticket.
Okay, you buy your own ticket
You
and
bought
you get your own
Yeah,
hotel
you buy
room.
your own ticket, and then all the food, and all the hotel, all that's all put together for you.
Okay, cool, awesome. I
So
like
every
it.
year you don't have to worry about eating anything. You don't have to worry about that. So yeah, we went eating different places. There was
Hmm.
one spot, but we had hiked this big ass mountain with this waterfall.
Hmm.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful, man.
Man,
Like you get to
I
go up
can't wait to
there.
do it, bro.
Yeah, when you went up, it was like a dude showing. He was like, "Yeah, there's a little monkey village over here.
Hmm.
The animals are out there. It's just everything's green. You get up to the top. See what we were gonna do.
Hmm.
Initially, we was gonna climb all the way to the top. There's a village up there. You know what I mean? But I guess we got to like the fifth floor or whatever you want to call it. There's like stories to it, levels. We got to the fifth level, and then level 7 is where the village is. But they said I guess they were having issues at the time, so we couldn't go all the way up there. But when you get to that fifth level, you get to look down on the city from up on top of the mountain. After you hike it, then you
Hmm.
get to jump in the waterfall. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's
Okay,
beautiful,
okay.
bro.
How
But
the
yeah,
ladies how the ladies looking out there in Nigeria, brother?
they look good out there. They look good out there. I thought they looked better in Ghana, to be honest with you. Even though I don't like Ghana as much as Nigeria, I thought
Hmm.
they looked better in Ghana. And then, as far as what I've seen, and then what I like, I mean, I like petite women. You know what I mean, with good shape, like petite women with like a bubble.
Hmm.
That's what I like. You know what I mean? I seen a lot of that in Ghana. I just felt like Ghana, they just had the best looking women as far as what I seen. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
That
Okay.
depends
Okay.
on your That depends on, and then let me be clear. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was in Ghana, I was in Accra, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I spent some time up in Volta with the Awe people. Now
Mm-hmm.
the Awe women didn't look as good as the Ashanti women that I was seeing in Accra. So it depends on the ethnic groups, kind of can depend too, because the women in Accra, their bodies are nicer. The Awe women, they the bodies I was seeing, they just wasn't shaped as well. You know what I'm saying? Or as far as
Mm.
like they weren't as curvy. I'll just put it like that.
All right, so let me ask you this real quick, man. For a first time traveler to Africa, which one would you suggest? Ghana
Out of
or
where I've been,
yeah, I mean for somebody like me who ain't never been to Africa, yeah, out of where you been, which one we should suggest first?
if you're an experienced traveler, I would go to Nigeria. Like experienced as in, you've done at least two places in different type of situation. I would go to Nigeria. But if
Mm-hmm.
you haven't done that, or you only did like one resort style vacation to Jamaica or some shit like that, you're not experienced. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
Experienced as in like, yeah, like, so if you're not afraid to go out and ask for a cab and negotiate, even though you're in foreign places and stuff like that, I would say, any little experience, I would go to Nigeria.
Mm.
Ghana is better for, like, if you're like a beginner. But I do think Dinus just did a show that Africa is bigger than Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to, like, we can go other places than Ghana, man. There's
Right.
other places to go than Ghana, and I think if you're going to put it versus Nigeria, like I said, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I didn't do Nigeria alone yet. I'll be back to do it alone soon. Though. I'm gonna go up to the north, but so
Okay.
I don't want to send people. Nigeria's a little different. Nigeria is way more aggressive than Ghana. Way more. Like you go there, they drive more aggressive. Ghanaians are some of the nicest people, bro. They're very mild. Everybody's very tame, and you know what I mean. Like in Nigeria, people are aggressive. You know what I'm saying? People are aggressive. They move fast. They talk faster. They talk. It's just the energy is different there. You know what I mean? Ghana's way more laid back.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, like I said, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of other places to go than Ghana, and I feel like you get a better cultural experience in Nigeria. Like I was saying, but you go around, you could go anywhere. People start drumming and everyone starts dancing. Like you could go some kids that pull out some drums. They get those drums going and everybody just starts dancing. I never heard any drums. I went to three cities in Accra. I never heard no drums and I barely seen any traditional garb.
Mm.
Almost no one. I went in the north by the lake. I was away from the main cities and almost no traditional garb, no drums, no culture. In Nigeria, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I would recommend going to like a place more like that. You know what I mean? Where
Mm-hmm.
you can get more of that more of that more traditional culture.
My brother Gregory X says Senegalese women are super fine.
Yeah. Yep. See, Gregory, he's been to all of them. You need to get him on here.
Oh yeah, most
He's been
definitely.
on. Yeah, Greg, you should jump on the link, bro, because he'll tell you. I haven't been to Senegal yet. I want to go there. You know where I really, as far as pictures and what I see, bro, the
Mm-hmm.
finest women in Africa that I see aren't necessarily in West Africa. The finest ones I see is in Central Africa, or it's
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Africa, like Central, like Uganda, Ethiopia.
Oh, so my boy O'Shea been telling the truth about them Uganda women, huh?
Yeah, well, because as far as they shape and they just, that and like Namibia, like down, like, Namibian women, they
Mm-hmm.
look good too. So them is places, yeah, I want to see that. But when I think Africa, repatriation to me is when you're going back to where we came from. We didn't really come from Uganda like that. They were taking us
Mm-hmm.
from West Africa.
Right.
You know,
Have you had? I mean, do you believe in the DNA test and all that? Have you had DNA tests?
no, I don't believe in them things. I
Oh,
haven't done that yet. It's not that I wouldn't do it, but I just don't see how. When there was a mixture of so many different tribes and over so many years, how you going to pinpoint where I was from?
right,
And then
right,
and
right.
then when I just don't understand that, and I don't want to get too much caught up in that. because you can get one of those tests.
Hmm.
Then they can change some things around and be like, you know what, we measure some more statistics and DNA and things like that. So it turns out you weren't from Cameroon, you actually were from Sierra Leone.
Yeah,
It's just like what,
that's exactly how mine is. It changes all the
see what I'm
time.
saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So I'm like, dude, don't even get caught up on all that. What's the DNA and all of that? You know what I mean? Just um, go back there, and things will resonate with you. You see what I'm saying?
So
I
when
resonated
you say
more with
resonate,
Nigeria
brother,
and Ghana.
when you go back, you had a certain feeling that you know that's where exactly where you came from.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. So you'll interact with people, and you'll certain groups of people, you'll mesh in more with them. You know what I'm saying? And also too, look at like what do you want to do? That's what it really comes down to. Like, see, Nigeria and the culture or whatever, and the way people dress, and the further away it is from white people, like in Ghana, you see pictures of white Jesus that every fucking where, everywhere.
Mm.
White clothing, white dress, and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's not necessarily what I want to see as much. I
Hmm.
don't want to shit on Ghana, but I'm just saying in comparison to Nigeria, it's no traditional comparison. You know what I mean? So for me, that made me resonate more with that. So it depends. But see, now there might be somebody who's less interested in that. You know what I'm saying? And they want to go somewhere where it's a more calm, more tame environment. And just that might be what they're into. Like people are like, oh, Nigerians, all money, all this, whatever. They call Nigeria the New York of Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They're faster. They're think they're more business savvy, more focused, more greedy in some cases. But it come with the territory.
Right,
So
right, right.
that for me, that's music to my ears. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, but to some people, they're like, bro, I ain't trying to do all that. I don't like all that kind of stuff. You always pressing me, always trying to do this and that. I want to go somewhere and chill back with the Awe people in, northern Ghana. I can understand that. For you, that might be what you want to do. You know what I mean?
My brother Jaws 2003 asks, have you visited North Africa?
No, I don't really have any desire to do that either, honestly. Like
Hmm.
I might go to Egypt. I could see myself over there like for some educational purposes or something. But dude I grew up with that lived in we grew up apart. He lived in L.A. So, but we always been friends. He lives in North Africa, in Egypt right now. He's working. And he's about to build a business over there. He moved there from Los Angeles to Egypt about a year ago. So he up there. He loving life. But I know a lot of people. North Africa is very Arab. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know the history. They just know white people enslaved us. They don't know a lot of Arabs were enslaving us, and the difference between where Arabs met us and where white people met us. Arabs killed a lot of us off and even pushed us south. South. So there's places that look very Arab today that weren't Arab before.
Right,
And we
right,
don't really
right.
understand that.
I heard
We
about
just
that.
say Africa. Yeah, we just say Africa. Oh, Egypt, my ancient Egypt. Egypt looks nothing like it looked in ancient times.
Mhm.
You had outsiders come into Egypt, tearing down and desecrating and looting because it wasn't their ancestors' thing. They would never do that stuff in Mecca. They would never go to Mecca. No Arab people are going to go to Mecca and desecrate everything and loot and just tear down all the things and take the gold and take all the limestone off the pyramid. No Arab group of people, if they got control of Saudi Arabia, would ever do that to Mecca. But they came to Egypt and they did it because it wasn't their people's stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but it is what it is. To the victor goes the spoils. They got control of that right now. Just because it's actually in Africa doesn't mean it's ours at
Mhm.
right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. And when you went on a trip, you went on a trip solo.
I went to Ghana solo.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I went to Ghana solo. I actually knew a Ghanaian out here, man. He I do business with out here in Cali. And I had told him, I'm like, yo, man, I'm gonna be in Ghana in a little bit, about a week or so, man. Almost forgot to hit you up. He's like, oh yeah. He was like, bro, where you going? I was like, Accra. He was like, all right, for sure. He was like, I'm gonna hook you up. He called his peoples over there. They put me up in a hotel on the beach and paid for all my food. Me and I had my Nigerian homeboy come out there with me from Nigeria because we went to do some stuff up in Bota, some spiritual stuff and some other stuff. And he was like, yeah, bro. He set us up, gave us rooms, and paid for everything that we did for the first few days I was there.
Oh, that's
And
that's dope. That's
set
dope.
it up. No strings attached, no nothing. He hit me up asking me for money or nothing, which that happens, but he ain't hit me up doing none of that. He just showing love.
Man, that's dope as
So,
hell, man. And you say you flew out of Cali. How long was that flight?
um, it took me like 14 hours to get there. I
Okay.
went to, I think I went to, I can't even remember. I went to something shit like Atlanta, or I think I went to Jersey. Oh, I'm sorry. To get to Ghana, I went to New York and I had a layover.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to New York, then I went to France, then I went to Ghana.
Okay.
Same for Nigeria, but it was like a different spot.
Mm-hmm.
You
And what
said
like
Jamaican women. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read this. He said Jamaican women become like USA women after they live here in US as well as most foreign women. It all depends if she here with many other family members if she keeps her culture.
I mean, but the Jamaican women in Jamaica, first of all, I love Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jamaica. I'll probably be in Jamaica pretty soon. I actually want to start a business there. But even the Jamaican women on Jamaica are very like westernized. So it ain't really like, Jamaica is not an example of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over here and get away from these Western women. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't go to Jamaica. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go to Jamaica for that.
My,
Jamaica has that same kind of matriarchal, kind of
mm-hmm.
acidic, acidic type of culture that we have in America in the hoods. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
My brother Reese Mafia says, no disrespect. I'm from South Africa, moved to Florida. Them African women, no different from sisters. Ask O'Shea, spit facts about African women. So what? Okay,
Nah,
okay, hold
disagree.
on.
I don't know about where he from.
Okay, let's get this straight. Okay, so I mean, have you dated any African women while you was over there? Were you talking to any? Like, what's the vibe? What's the culture over there as far as the women's concerned?
It's not. Listen, it's not. I partially agree with him. It's not. They're not as far away from American as you think, right? Now the
Mm-hmm.
women I dated are college students. So I
Mm,
don't have an experience with dating non-college students. Like
mm-hmm.
one Fulani girl I date out there is actually like conscious, like as far as like she's like pro-black. She's a little conscious. You know what I mean? So she came to Ghana with me, and we went to Kwame Nkrumah's memorial. We went to W.B. Du Bois museum, and
Mm-hmm.
she loved that experience, learning about her people and stuff like that. So she's actually conscious, but again, she's a college student, so they learn some of this Western stuff, and a lot of them are very much plugged in through media. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is, I don't know what it's like to dealing with the other ones who aren't in college. Like I haven't intimately dealt with them, but even the ones that are in college, they're not as far gone as this because they don't grow up in a system that can support them acting that way. They're in patriarchies. They know the value of men because they need men in their societies. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I see it different. I see women that know the value of men, and they feel like they need them, and then they still use ways to attract men and keep men in the necessary way. Like they don't have this independent mindset that you
Mm-hmm.
see over here in America. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
like female nature, again, I hope most of the brothers in your channel is educated in knowing that female nature doesn't change just because you switch continents. Don't
Mm,
change. Don't change.
mm. Say
I
that
had a
again.
brother, my yeah, female nature does not change just because you jump to another continent.
Mm,
Period. Whether it be Africa or whatever. I remember because I was telling my taxi driver, I was like, damn man, the dude I was with in Ghana,
mm-hmm.
I was like, damn man, there's a lot of women out here. He was like, yeah man. He's like, yeah, they look good. He was like, but they wicked, man. I'm telling you, they wicked.
Oh,
I was like, all
all
right,
right.
I feel you, bro.
Okay, man. Okay, that's funny. So, would you still marry an American woman?
I would never marry an American woman. I don't
Mm,
even, bro. I'm a victim of child support. Used to be, I got off of it now, but
uh-huh.
child support and all the whole system. I would never marry in America. I don't even want to live in America. I have an 11-year-old daughter,
Uh-huh.
and it's difficult for me to leave, man. It's difficult for me to leave. But what I want to do is continue to kind of build a bridge and maybe get some things going, and I can kind of go back and forth. And that's another reason with me with the Jamaica thing. I'm like, see, Jamaica, I can be back home in 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if she could come with me and she could be there or whatever the case, you know. But she, you know, I split up with her mother many years ago when she was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, really young. And, you know, she has a little sister on that with her mother. And like me just taking her away, it's, you know what I mean? It's complicated. But
Mm.
I don't want to be like too far away. I don't want to be too far away. So it's just complicated. So all I could really do is build, get my capital together, um, build a home base in Jamaica, build a home base in Nigeria, and then find ways for me to kind of have things going on. Because what I do want her to do a year of schooling um, in Africa before she gets to high school, or at least
Okay.
like her first year of high school. So that is a goal that I have. But I'm like, if I could at least set some things up, maybe she can come back and forth. Maybe we could do her breaks or something like that, where she could do both or whatever. And I know I'm in a position where if anything ever happens, I could be back immediately. Like, because I know in Africa, sometimes the flights are 12 hours. Sometimes the flights may take you 24 hours, depending on
Mm-hmm.
when you're going. And in short notice, the flights are so expensive, you know. But like if I'm in Jamaica, anything happen, my daughter called me, anything weird or anything go down in any type of way, for $500, I'll be on your ass in 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there immediately
Yeah.
for cheap at any time, short notice, anything. Africa's a little bit different because it's farther. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I see how you're trying to set it up because the Caribbean is a little closer. I think a lot of brothers
Hmm.
had a way about the DR and Colombia. It's like the DR for me, it's 2 hours away from Florida. It's about and Colombia is about 4 hours away or 5 hours away from Atlanta. So, the Africa move for a lot of brothers is just, if they're looking to, repatriate, it's just too far away.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, see, like I said, the only reason I'm saying that's because my daughter. But
Hmm.
you know, I was talking to her mom, man. I was thinking if I could persuade her mom to move to a spot like Houston or something like that, where you know you can get direct flights,
Hmm.
that might work out a little different for me. You know, they have frequent flights or something like that, but a lot of people don't want to do all that. So
Right, right. Because you say you out there in Cali, so I guess what's close to you is like what, Hawaii, Fiji Islands, stuff like that.
yeah, I never been to Hawaii. I have no real interest in going there. It does look nice. You know, I've only visited black countries. I've never. The only non-black place I've been to is Mexico because
Mm.
it's literally. I grew up in San Diego, so I grew up literally 15 minutes away from the border. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man, how was it growing
Yeah.
up in
So
San
we was.
Diego, man? I heard San Diego is expensive as hell.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't expensive like that before. It's getting worse now. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But like coming up, we wasn't thinking about what's all expensive, or whatever, and people always had different ways, just like where you grew up. It's the same as probably where you grew up. Where you from again?
I'm from Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. So yeah, probably same as where you grew up. Gangs, public housing. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of foolishness, stuff like that. All that kind of stuff going on. Like
Hmm.
it's an artist here. He said he had a song, or he had a lyric where he said I'm a San Diego native, but I barely see the beach, and that's how it
Mm.
is out here. People don't know that like there's a big gang problem and all this negativity and all the same stuff that they grew up with. They hear San Diego and I guess something else be going through their mind, you know. But San Diego it's a little tragic how it went, man, because a lot of the stuff we had, Martin Luther King Day Parade. We used to have the Gold Coast Classics where they would come through with we used to have the bands at our schools. We had all the black cultural events and all that stuff, and it's pretty much all gone now. You know what I mean? And then foreigners, they come out to San Diego and they look at what's there now, and then they start looking at us. I'm like, bro, don't look at me. I didn't grow up in that. I know y'all thinking like, whoa, what the fuck is going on over here? But we didn't grow up in that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And a lot of people are moving away and getting out of there, rightfully so. In San Diego, a lot of people are moving out away from the coast to inland places more up north, like Inland Empire. Just like a lot of people are moving out of LA in more inland to Riverside, and as the so-called gentrification goes on, they
Hmm.
move people out of those better areas, and we moving into lesser areas because we can't afford it.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, man. I was interested in moving to California, man. I love Cali. It's got the
shit,
South, you
why?
know. It says hi.
I said, why?
Man, you got the South, man. I've been in the South my whole life, brother. It's just time for me to get on up out of here for a while, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully out the country, period. But you know,
See, do you have any kids?
I don't have no kids.
Why haven't you left already? I mean,
Well,
respectfully.
man, you know why, man? 'Cause I do a lot of work in the film industry, man, and you know, Atlanta, you can get a lot of money in Atlanta. The housing market is, you know, it's a little high right now, but usually for a long time, the housing market was gravy. I got family down here, but you know, I had a chick, man. She was begging me to come to what city was she from? Modesto, and
Mm-hmm.
she lived out there, a little Indian chick. She was begging me to come out there,
Fucking
man.
hood.
Modesto, the hood.
Modesto. Pretty sure it might not be anymore. You know, everything that's switched up. I just remember. You know, I grew up. See, we from a different pre-internet time. You know, you're a little older than me, but we from
Mm-hmm.
like pre-internet when every section had their own music. And then the California music, you know, I was never from Northern California, but I listened to a bunch of artists, and I would hear people saying shit about Modesto, so I just assumed it was one of them negative areas. You know how niggas they get
Mm-hmm.
negative areas and they like brag about the area being fucked up.
Right,
I
right,
thought
right.
Modesto was one of them areas.
Hmm. You know what? Because I saw a little footage on Modesto through YouTube. I mean, it looked okay. That whole Stockton, Modesto area.
Man, black
So,
people need to be getting out of California. I can't
oh
help you.
man, not all. You know,
That's me.
Donna says that a lot.
We both from California.
Right,
That's
right,
the
right.
why, man. Dennis is from California. That's why he's saying it.
Is it because it's just too expensive, or the
It's
police be
too
tripping?
expensive. It's being taken over by Mexicans. It's doing being worse things. Black people are leaving. You know what I'm saying? So the culture is dying. Um, there, I just don't see what's the purpose of us doing that. What's the
Mhm.
purpose of us being here? We may as well go to places where we're stronger. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Right,
come
right, right.
somewhere where you're dead and dwindling out. You know what I'm saying? All
Well,
your cultural events and everything's going dying. Why would you come here?
what part of California you at now?
I'm in Palm Springs now.
Okay, okay.
Yes, strictly for a business opportunity. I'm still, I'm still like 2 hours away from home, but I'm like building a business stuff. So I came out here to do this really quick, you know. But
Hey, we got a couple brothers in the chat. I guess they not really talking down on Africa, but I guess they prefer Latino countries. You know, I go to a lot of Latino countries as well. So different shows, different folks, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the cool thing about traveling, is having your options. If you want to do, the Latin countries, you can definitely do the Latin countries. You want to do the African countries, the more black countries, you do the black countries. So whatever you want to do.
yeah, well, see, and the thing too for me, I got different roots than these guys. So like for me, I came from I came out of the consciousness thing. You know what I mean? I became conscious through
Right.
college.
You spoke on that in a earlier
Yeah,
stream.
yeah. So that's my roots, right? So I have pro-black roots. You know what I mean? And not pro-black as the derogatory term that has been turned into in the black manosphere for some reason. Only black people would make being pro yourself like a derogatory term, but that's another topic.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah,
black people
yeah.
do that.
I
But
think for
not
the most
that.
part they be joking about it though. Like, I know some
Hmm.
brothers talk about it, but they kind of like jokingly.
I don't know, bro. There's a lot of venom. Like there's a lot of venom and stereotyping. Many pro-black motherfuckers wanted me to be black. Fuck you niggas. Like I'm like, damn, bro. What's all
Yeah.
that for? Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, pro-black people never really had control of the community. Like, I could
Mm,
see you being mad at the matriarchy, but we
hmm.
never really got the ball. We've always been on the fringe. You know what I'm saying?
My brother Charles Jones says pro black if they'll look down on the rest of us. I don't think brothers look down on anybody.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll say. I get what he's probably trying to say is like a lot of black people are fucking sleep, man. You know what I mean? Like, so you understand that this place is a matrix and
Hmm.
that you can do much better when you get out of it. You
Hmm.
know, at most of the black men's travels audience, we understand that, right? So
Right, right.
now imagine, and we deal with it, a bunch of people who don't know no better, ignorantly just shunning you for what you're saying. That's how pro-black awakened people feel. a bunch of people who have no real pride and just want to speak to talk shit and fuck all that Africa, whatever. I'm in Asia or I'm here or whatever, But the whole thing is, I think the people look at this whole thing of this African centered message, and they think of, first of all, they think of all the negative people because of the propaganda that's out there, but they think of people who are on this kind of, everything is very surface level, everything is very what's the word I'm looking for, shallow, what's the word I'm looking for, where it's like you're only looking at the eclectic kind of, this pie in the sky, the motherland, my brothers and sisters, and all that shit.
You're making a large generalization of the pro conscious community. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that's the percept. That's how people are perceiving it. Like a lot of the average day-to-day brothers who aren't on that, they see it through that lens. So they hear pro-black, and they think of some people who are just on this pie in the sky, no feet to the ground, everything spirituality and my brothers and sisters and all that kind of shit. But there's sides. Everything has two sides. Everything has a masculine and a feminine. You know what I mean? Liberal and conservative, whatever. And you have a lot of people that's in the Pan-Africanist space that don't do anything else outside. See, when you look at Dynas, right, or somebody like Dynas, someone like me, we have successes outside of us just being pro-black. So that's not all we have. So I don't have to come and tell you spiritual stuff. And my whole purpose of coming into this, it had nothing to do with pie in the sky, feel good messages. I was able to study the world as it was, and I seen that black people had a lack of power because we had a lack of unity. And the reason that white people were able to overtake us is because we were divided when they decided let's join together and unite. That's all it's really about. Right. So the message is black power. It's about power for us to be able to be on the same level and do what everyone else is doing instead of being a victim all the goddamn time.
Exactly.
That's the foundation of pro-black for me. It's not about spirituality and all of that, whatever. Even though that's, whatever, we're gonna do our spirituality, but that's not the point. That's not my roots. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I
think also, brother, it's almost like what throws some of the traveling guys off is the fact that they would get more love from maybe Latino or European countries than they would in, say, black countries. A lot of guys would say that, hey man, these women over here are foul, like you say, evil in certain cases, and it's better for them to build in other countries.
Yeah, no, I can understand. I can understand that. Go ahead.
Like it's hard. It's hard to. It's hard to start. A successful society, right, of strong black families, if you don't even have a component of the woman being there with you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Oh, shout out to Greg. Superficial. That's the damn word I was looking for that whole time. Superficial.
Right.
But anyway, no, I can understand that. See, I'm not one of those people that acts like, oh, you know what? That's what it is too. They're mad at the pro-blacks because a big part of the whole pro-black African center thing is you can't date outside your race. That's why they're mad too. Or
the black woman is queen, the black woman is goddess.
Oh, that goofy ass shit gotta go. Now, see, all of us don't agree with that shit for the record, bro. We don't all agree with that shit. But I do have to be honest. The majority of the community is on that black woman is God, matriarchal bullshit. So I will give you that. That we do need to fix that.
Right.
But yeah, but my thing is them people don't run this shit. You know what I'm saying? I came here for my own reasons. They don't run it. They don't run me. They don't own black liberation. You feel what I'm saying? And we don't use the worst people and call that pro-black. Like, nah, fuck that. I'm the real pro-black. I want to do power and have our own people be empowered and build and do shit instead of just complaining all day. I'm the real pro-black. You feel what I'm saying? Them other niggas, call them something else. But anyway, as to the point of people not feeling like they could build with other races because of their experiences here, you got to realize you live in a perverted community. Everything in the black community is completely fucking backwards, right? You have because you have the devaluing of the male, the artificial, the externally artificial devaluing of the black male in this society. You see what I'm saying? So the reason you having all these trouble with women is because you don't own the women, because you don't own the land. So another man is controlling your women to create a pseudo matriarchy over you. This is the source of pretty much all your problems. Now that is specific to this society. That's not something you want to put on all women with black skin color. If
Mhm.
you shout out to a brother in the Black Brain Trust, Mike V, he was talking about his experience in Rwanda and how he was at a tech event and how he was getting the feel when he was talking to women and dealing with women. See over there, the Pookie and Ray Rays are at the bottom of the totem pole over there. See what I'm saying? They
Mhm.
don't have this perverted society like that. So they look at the men that can produce, that's smart, that are productive and doing things like that. That brings your value up in those societies because they don't have this matriarchal perversion. So I wouldn't put that on black women. You see what I'm saying? I would just go to patriarchal black societies and you don't have to worry about that. It's not like that over there. You see what I mean? I wouldn't take that. Don't think that you got to go to other races because of what the black women here do. That's not black women. That's perverted matriarchal black American society.
Right. But what about women and like black women in Latin countries like Brazil? I think we discussed a little bit of this before on one of our streams, but what brothers go for, the black Brazilian women?
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I agree with that. I
Mhm.
think and even in Colombia or whatever these places, I agree with all that. The thing I like about Africa though is that if we go to Africa and you build there, we have the chance to turn Africa around, and then once we turn Africa around on the world stage, black people are contenders with everybody else. You
Mm.
go to some country where now Brazil is different or whatever, even though I don't really know if black people run Brazil.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I can tell you, black people. Well, I ain't even going to get into that,
Well,
but
hold
but
on now,
basically,
hold on now, brother. I mean, can you give us a country where we run anything really? I mean, truly run
I would say, okay, look, to me, right? I have an accountability perspective,
it.
right?
Mhm.
So where a lot of people would say they flooded the black community with drugs, I'm going to tell you the black people in the black community flooded the black community with drugs with the assistance of the government. You see what I'm saying? I
Okay.
believe in taking self accountability, right? So
Okay.
in Nigeria, the people in the head positions are black people. They're
Mhm.
black people. See what I mean? It ain't no like light skin class. There's no Afrikaners left over that's running it. These are black people. Now,
Mhm.
if your people make poor decisions, whether those decisions are to sell you out or whatever the case is, it's still in control by black people. You see what I'm saying? The businesses, they're still in the control of black people. Whether there's outside influence or not doesn't mean they don't control it. So I would tell you Nigeria is controlled by blacks. See what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Okay.
To me, you know. I know some people are gonna make the well, in the end of the day, it's this and that. But again, to me, that's how I look at it.
Okay.
So, but the point I was getting to was to say, like, for us to go somewhere and bury ourselves and become 8% of the population again in Argentina. Shout out to your brother that keep pushing Argentina. I
Mhm.
mean, you know, I see that as like a step backwards in terms of black liberation and black power. And power as far as what you want to do. You know what I mean? But I'm not against it in any way, shape, or form. But you know what I mean? Strategically, it just makes more sense to go where we can build the most power.
Right. That's true. It's true. What about Jamaica, man? The people running shit in
I love
Jamaica.
Jamaica, man.
Mhm.
Um, see, the thing about Jamaica is so many foreigners that own so much of the wealth in Jamaica. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
A lot of foreigners own the wealth and run a lot of the businesses in the tourism industry in Jamaica. The leaders are black people, though, and I do consider Jamaica a black country. But is it really independent? That's a different question. That's a different question. The head of the state in Jamaica is the Queen Elizabeth. Um, the Superior Court of Jamaica is in Britain. If you
Hold
just
on,
go,
hold
you
on,
could just
hold on, bro. I don't mean to interrupt. You said the Queen of Elizabeth is what? The head of state?
yeah, the head of state. Yeah, just Google it.
But what is
Who
that?
is
What
the
does
head
that
of
mean?
state?
Don't Jamaica got a president or something like that?
Yeah, they are the prime minister, Andrew Holness. But if you
Uh-huh.
look it up, The head of the country is still the queen. If you just go on there, you should pull it up and do it. I should jump on my computer so I can show
Let me
people.
see if I can find it. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Put it in Google. Head of state, Jamaica, right?
yeah. I say, yeah, head of state in Jamaica. Now it's probably gonna tell you Andrew Holness, but either you probably have to go to. Oh, see, it's still right there. So
Mm.
they had so-called. And you found it yet? I don't even
It's,
want to
it's,
say it.
it's
I want to let you say it.
it says Andrew Holiness. That's what it says. But that says the prime minister.
Yeah, but who did you Google head of state
You know,
in
it
Jamaica?
says something about Elizabeth II or some shit. Hold on.
Queen Elizabeth.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the monarch of the UK. It
Both
tell
the
you from
monarch.
1962.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, from 1962, the head of state under the Jamaica Independence Act, right? The so-called Jamaica Independence Act, 1962, is
Mm-hmm.
the Queen of Elizabeth II, the monarch of the United Kingdom. And I don't know if you guys know much about Britain or whatever, but it's a monarchy. It's still a monarchy today. So
Mm.
imagine this, right? Jamaica, they make an Independence Act and they declare another nation's queen as their head of state. What kind of sense that makes?
Mm.
You know, if you could go back and you could look at the Jamaica's Independence Day, it's the Queen of England going around waving, smiling, all that kind of shit. You know, to me, in my opinion, that was just as fake as the civil rights movement, just a little chess move. And they
Mm.
put them in all kind of debt, um, dominate the economy. You know, so we can make arguments about how independent are they really. You know,
And
but
what,
in the
what does
end of
that
the
mean? But
day,
it says a Commonwealth country. What does that mean? Jamaica is a Commonwealth country.
so they would have different common. What the British Commonwealth was like, countries that were under their basically under their tutelage. That was their they said. They said the same thing about Nigeria. They were like, hey, well, we want Nigeria to be a independent nation in the British Commonwealth. So it's basically you're just it's like you're a colonial state to a degree. But the difference is, as time has gone on, they don't have all these colonial taxes. They don't have so many rules and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
things have changed. So we can't call it just straight up direct colonialism. And we can't say that the people aren't in charge of their countries and making decisions. But they just don't have that much leverage on a global scale because these countries are so small. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like the best bet for all Caribbean, CARICOM should be a country and Jamaica should just be a state within it. Haiti should be a state. Dominican Republic should be a state. And they need to come together so they can collectively bargain and have more power. But that's black people's problem. Everywhere we are, we're segmented and fragmented into a million pieces. And
Mm-hmm.
then big white nations come over and bully us around. Asian
So
nations.
you talking about the Caribbean kind of being like the Philippines? So the Philippines is made up of just a whole bunch of islands, basically, something like that. Where
Yeah. Well, there's
they're all
yeah.
pretty much one big
CARICOM is
country,
it's
right?
a group. Yeah, CARICOM is a group of them that come together. It
Uh-huh.
already is. It's like the African Union,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they do, but what I'm saying is, yeah, that's like the Philippines.
Oh man, we lost him. It was getting good. Try to come back in, brother. Let's see here. See what my brother William Green says. Jamaica is part of the British Empire. Charles says Jamaica was a British colony until the 1960s, I believe. As Mark Arnold III, Marvin Arnold III says, Jamaica is a Commonwealth. William Green says if Britain knew Nigeria had oil, it would still be part of the British Empire. William Green, not true. I'm a board member of a medium-sized country. Jamaica, zero white people. William Green says, "Sir, my ex is the executive for about 4 years. This is definitely All right, you there, brother? You on mute? Let me I'll take you off on mute.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I jumped on my computer. I let my phone down.
All right, yeah, brother, you on mute? Okay, hold on. We got
Yeah, no, I'm here. I jumped on my computer. I let my. All right, you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, but now you was explaining that the Caribbean should all come together and form like its own country, and then have the islands just be states.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they got a spot. It's called CARICOM. Where they already come together, and speak with each other and make deals and do things like that. But I just feel like we gotta stop being all separate and fragmented. You know what I mean? Because it's too easy for them to come in and just marginalize a little small groups of people, and just pick you off everywhere you are. Like China can basically bully corporations and negotiate. Like, look, yeah, you can come work and get access to 1.2 billion people, but you got to give up your trade secrets. The Gambia can't do that. Jamaica can't do that because it's just a couple million people each. You know what I'm saying? And these are the type of things, man. It's like, look, if we come together in that way and have that amount of numbers, then you can bully these people too, as far as and get trade secrets and software and all these different things that China is able to benefit from. But if you're just fragmented and weak and divided, and then rivalries with each other, man, these people just gonna continue to bully you, just like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't even gonna be just white people like that. The black and white thing is old. I mean, we all know how the white people is and the white man and whatever. But I think by 2020, I know people still caught up in the 60s. By 2020, I think the Black American community, you had experience with other groups, and if you notice the pattern, they kind of do the same exploitative type of shit as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, we got to realize the common denominator is you.
Now let me ask you this, brother. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Some people would say that even as an African American, when you travel to Africa, there still is tribalism there. Like they're still not going to be able to put you on like you would in your own country. Did you experience any type of tribalism, as far as when you was over there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I experienced any type of animus or anything toward me, but there is tribalism depending on the country you go to. Like if you look at Africa, the most functional countries are the ones that are like very homogeneous. You know what I mean? Like you look at Botswana, it's like 90% Swana people, or
Mm-hmm.
even Rwanda. I know they had that genocide, but there's only like two main tribes. You know what I mean? So like
Mm-hmm.
more homogeneous. Some of the ones that have a lot of the issues are like places like Nigeria, where there's tons of ethnic groups that you have to all get together. You know what I mean? To the point where some people are like, look, we should just separate. Y'all have y'all's, we have ours, and they have theirs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, tribalism is an issue, but that's not just Africa though, bro. Like that's just like niggas in the States can't
Mm-hmm.
well, we over here and fuck you niggas over there. Like that's black people's problem, period, bro. That's why what got us into this mess, and we still haven't learned a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nah, you got tribalism, but that's something we could work through that. You see what I'm saying? All these problems are things that we can solve, and it's like people are like, look, bro, you can solve the matriarchy. It's like, all right, so we're gonna put all that sweat and energy into that, and then what? We're gonna have a little satellite nation, and we're still gonna be under another man's system. Why do all of that when you could take that same energy and then build up your own system? And now your country is a contender with America. You don't have to be building all your stuff under another man. I'm saying it's like, it's not about, okay, yeah, you could probably put all that energy into it, but I just don't see why would you want to do it somewhere where everything you're doing is being undermined. The moment you start anything in America, you agree to be under the jurisdiction of all the institutions here. We all
Mm-hmm.
we all know the damage that the FBI has done to Black American communities.
Mm-hmm.
Done to ourselves, but we know the intervention that they've done. Every single thing you do in America, you agree to be under the jurisdiction of that same FBI. The same FBI that killed Fred Hampton, same FBI that basically sabotaged Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, same FBI. You agree to be under that jurisdiction. Why would you want to do anything other than just business here and do all your cultural strategy and all that stuff somewhere else?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think we spoke about that earlier. On a what about a week ago? Where can black men build another Black Wall Street in America? And I think you had made that point that why would you want a street when you can have your own country? One of you that made that point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
You
it just makes
like
yeah.
it makes sense, you know.
Yeah, because the reality of it, brother, is the fact that you can't really have your own street nowhere if you don't have a country that's backing you. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
You need China for there to be a Chinatown.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And I think that some brothers might not get that point. We have this illusion that we can do like we did in the 1920s. What happened with the Black Wall Street? It was really segregation. We can't go nowhere else, so we had to build our own businesses
Right.
in neighborhoods that you know. But they came in, they infiltrated that, and they let the immigrants have the businesses within our neighborhoods, which means we could never really achieve any type of political power because the money, the millions of dollars in our communities, is going to their communities, not going to us.
No, exactly, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why again we got to realize our problems are cultural and mentality. That is our problems, man. Because it's like if I had the mentality that the white man's ice is colder, but because of segregation, that's the only thing that got me building my own businesses. All they have to do is say, okay, cool, well, you can come over here, and then they can take over all our businesses because our mentality is wrong. You feel me?
My brother Gregory X says the ECOWAS is a good first step towards intercontinental trade on the continent. Effective today, July 1st, 2020. Are you familiar with that? I'm not really familiar with what he's saying.
Yeah, no, yeah, Greg, he's on point. He's on point. So yeah, the ECOWAS is
Oh, the ECOWAS, okay.
yeah, it's a West African agreement that they can do. They have different trade rules amongst each other, and then
Mm-hmm.
if you get an ECOWAS, so you have your passport, but then you have what's called an ECOWAS travel certificate. With that, you can travel to I think it's about 20 West African nations without any visas or without anything. And
Mm-hmm.
you also have there's a lot of I think you can do business in these other places with that travel certificate also. So what that's going to do is kind of help to break down the borders, you know. But it's just and also the echo is going to be the currency. They're all going to share a currency and get rid of their old currencies. So this is a huge move, and it's definitely a step.
Whoa. So you said so? How many countries going to share currency now?
I think it's there's like 21.
Oh, bro, that's a big move.
Yeah. I have to Google how many countries are in ECOWAS, but yeah, no, that's a big move. We have to be careful with how we do it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? We have to be careful with how we do it because, like I said, it's good to have free trade and things like that, but we also have to be careful with who benefits from that free trade. You know what I mean? Because like in Nigeria, for example, one thing that they have is they're cutting off a lot of external people that are bringing in rice and people that are bringing in palm oil and different things like that Nigerians need to just make for themselves so they can improve their food security. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
their local farmers need that protection to be able to do that. But if we go into because the African Union, they actually they had made a free trade agreement all throughout Africa. That's another thing that's going to be coming into play. But the thing is, if I need that protection to increase my food security, but I'm in an ECOWAS and African Union agreement that says free trade, I may not be able to recover from that. You know what I mean? So we have to be careful. And then also too, this may open up. So say for instance, you have ties with external forces or outsiders that come in. You may allow Indians to come into your country, grow cheap rice or flood the market. And then now I have to accept it based on this agreement. So we got to be careful because we don't want to expose ourselves too much because developing nations need protectionism so that their institutions can grow. So it's not the we haven't won yet, but we're moving in the right direction is all. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good move right there, man. I always wondered. I think Akon has said something about turning Africa into what, like the countries into states, and this being the United States of Africa. He said something to that extent. You heard about that?
Yeah. No, that's an idea that's been out there. Like I said, definitely it you know, it's something that I would like to see. You know what I mean? Like in Nigeria, for instance, there's the Biafran War was the last major war, one of the worst wars in Africa. Was the Igbo people in the south of Nigeria? They wanted to split off and have their own country, right? They lost that war, but even to this day, there's still people who want Biafra, the country, to exist. And in Yoruba land, there's some people even in Yoruba land that want to have a place they call the Oduduwa Republic, where they could have their own thing. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people who swear like, look, man, we need our own nation. Now, as Black Americans, we like, bro, that's more separation. That's more, and Pan-Africanists, we like, look, that's more separation. You're making the problem even worse. It's more splitting up. But then when you start to hear some of their arguments, they're like, look, man, we're not getting along this way, though. We're not able to get along. You know what I'm saying? Because when people go in, all the voting, all the politics is done on a tribal level. People just root for their guy, and then this guy's allowed to do wrong because he's my tribe, and then I'm your tribe against mine, and it's just like it's just not working out because it's not properly integrated. You know what I mean? So some people are like, look, let us separate. We never created the first borders in the first place, and then we could do things our own way. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's arguments to go in both ways, you know. But personally, I think what you need is you need strong federal governments to force integration the way they forced integration in America. That's the only solution. If you're not going to get that, you know, then you're going to have these tribalism issues.
Yeah, my brother Gregory X says 54 states instead of 54 countries, United States of Africa. And I love that idea.
No, yeah, this sounds good. On the ground, there's a lot of challenges, but like I said, it could be done. I think it's 55 states too, Greg. It's a new spot. The English-speaking part of Cameroon just seceded and called themselves Ambazonia. Ambazonia, I think it's called. So I think they're 55 now.
I'm not going to hold you too much longer, bro, but I want to ask you this real quick. How do we, like, okay, if this happens, if you know, you got it's one currency, you got the 54 states instead of the 55 countries, right? Does that do African Americans are we going to be able to benefit off of that? Is what I'm asking.
We need to make a connection. But first of all, if Black people are stronger, all Black people benefit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You have a collective identity, whether you want it or not. That's just how people look at you. So if Black people are strong, all Black people benefit. But if Black Americans are able to get in on the ground floor of these things, we'll be able to make that connection to where we can directly benefit. You know what I mean? Because we'll be involved. And that's what I think is going to happen. So it really depends. To answer your question directly, it depends what Black American people do. But no matter what, the extent to which they benefit depends on what we do. But benefit, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So if this happens, we should be able to protect ourselves from these race soldiers in these police departments. Basically, that's what it boils down to.
I mean, it depends how you diagnose that problem. To me, I see it as an issue of like economic power, direction, and culture and mentality. Control in the community. So that's a cultural issue. You know, I mean, so you have a better chance if you have more culture, more men building and more powerful men, patriarchal men to come in the society. So I say you have a better chance, but there is a good chance, it is very possible that everybody else could improve and Black people cannot change up the structure of their society and still have a fucked up community. That's very possible. You know, they need men in Black America, bro.
Man, we gotta do another show, bro. Like, I might do another show this evening, but I'll hit you up, man. Matter of fact, put your email in a private chat for me, bro. Because I want to chop it up with you again, man. Most definitely, because what you were saying, man, made just so much sense, man. Real sense, as far as, you know, the Caribbean and, you know, the United States of Africa, man. We gotta definitely do another show, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I think somebody asked me a question. I think they said what he said. So where would Black folks go in Africa? We are like a soup in the United States, and I'm not sure of any African nations giving 40 million people land. Liberia was an experiment, and look at what happened to it. Well, Liberia was one of our.
See that coming. Hold on.
Jaws.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me put that up there.
Yeah, Liberia was actually one of our greatest success stories. That was one of the greatest thing, or the greatest thing, that Black American people have had a part in was Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
It went for a long time. So the way everybody wants to run to America for opportunity, Liberia was the place where everybody in Africa wanted to run for opportunity. It just got screwed up just barely in the 80s, but it ran for over 100 years. And there's only 2 countries in Africa that have not been colonized. One is Ethiopia, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Haile Selassie. And then the other one is Liberia. So yeah, don't sleep on Liberia. People like to say Liberia was an experiment and look what happened to it, but Liberia was actually the most successful thing we ever done. And just because something successful may fail at some point, you don't want to discount all the success that would happen there. You definitely don't want to say you can't do something again because you failed. Because we've been doing this shit we doing in America over and over again. It don't stop nobody from continuing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
For one.
Right.
For two, 40 million Black people are never going to leave America. The American Blacks are
That's
some
true.
of the most loyal. We got some rebelliousness to us. I'll give us that. We're some of the most loyal slaves. So 40 million people ain't leaving here. You know what I mean? Unless some type of apocalypse or some shit happens, they're not going to leave. So and for us to get the benefits of being connected to Africa, we don't need 40 million to leave. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a few million leave, right? We make connections, and we can get the benefits of connecting as a people. So everybody doesn't have to leave. And even if everyone left, one nation doesn't have to accept us. You know what I mean? So I would say, where do Black folks go in Africa? You go anywhere you want to in Africa, bro. To be honest with you, that goes back to what I said earlier. You can kind of go there, feel the vibe of where you want to go. It really depends on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go anywhere you want in Africa. You don't have to just go to Ghana. Ghana. I mean, like I said, they make very good marketing. They have a really good beyond year return or year return marketing campaign for you to bring your wallet. But there's no real citizenship, no real benefits that you're going to get past anything that any other race of people get. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to just only focus on one place. You can go anywhere. You go to Uganda. You can go to South Africa if you want like a more industrialized place to go to. You know what I'm saying? You can go Kenya. That's another pretty well industrialized place. So you can go pretty much anywhere in Africa. It doesn't really matter. And a lot of people, you don't know the culture, you don't know this. First of all, you can integrate into the culture. And even if you don't integrate into culture, if you have children, your children will be born there. So they'll be automatically in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Time from a legacy perspective, you stand a better chance there.
On top of it, most of these countries all speak English, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's like main languages. Yeah, English, French. Those 2 languages. That's the majority of the continent right there. English and French. Like I said, I got to get back on my Yoruba lessons because I definitely want to learn an African language. And when I go somewhere, I want to be able to, at least in one place that I establish as a home base, which I have a good idea where I want to do, at least want to be able to like speak that language and move with people. Then I'll probably learn, how to speak the pidgin English later.
Cool. Well, brother, I appreciate you coming on the show. We gotta definitely do another one, man. We're gonna definitely speak on because this was really about not marrying American women.
We didn't even say anything about marriage, really. Oh, we did, huh?
Yeah, we spoke on it, but it kind of segue into where brothers should could possibly move to and build stuff. So we definitely gotta have another show, man, and we'll focus on that topic the whole time.
Yeah, no, you got my email. I could email.
And you know what? I like the fact that you don't, because I think like Dr. Umar, I don't know how you feel about Dr. Umar, but he kind of ran a lot of brothers off with the whole, if you don't marry a Black woman, you can't be part of this, you can't do this, I can't respect you. It's just like, bro, what I do in my bedroom got to do with
matriarchal stuff. See, this over focus on interracial dating, it comes from this matriarchal thing of do that panders to women, right?
Right.
you get trained on focusing on that. As a man, bro, as a grown ass man, 30-some-year-old man, that should be like the least of your worries, bro. Like I met it was a brother that I met. I used to go to this luxury spot out here. Like me and my daughter, we only go to the luxury theater where they like bring you the food. They could bring you your food, your drinks, you know, liquor, whatever you want. They bring it to your table. They got waiters in the theater or whatever. This is the only theaters me and my daughter go to. And it was they had hired a brother there who was a brother from the East Coast. He actually got hired as the general manager. And I ended up, it was a problem with our theater. And I ended up talking to him. And it turned out like, he's like a big manager. He had improved a couple of Ritz Carltons and whatever. So he had got this job. And we ended up connecting. And I'm building my business now. I hit him up the other day. He like, you know what, bro? I had them same issues in business before. What you want to do is this, this, and this. Gave me just straight up golden type of shit that you pay consulting firms for. You feel what I'm saying? I have no idea who his wife is, but if it turned out to be a white woman, you think I'm gonna like stop fucking with him over that? When this dude who adds value and shit like that. But the problem is you got a bunch of matriarchal focused people who don't have any real responsibility. So they have time for goofy shit like, wait a minute, who you fucking? Like, I don't give a fuck what type of woman you decide to own. That's on you. And to me, right, in my opinion, the ultimate, if you got that much of a problem with interracial dating, just move to a black country. Even if somebody interracial dates, they're going to get swallowed up into a sea of blackness any fucking way. So leave America. There you go.
Well, brother, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. And I'm gonna email you soon, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'll shoot you. Just shoot me an email. I'll give you my number too.
Okay, cool.
All right, brother.
All right, peace.
Yeah.
Well, brothers, appreciate you listening to the show. We're gonna have one later on today. And peace.